Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. I am Mike Briggs, the host of the show. We focus on what's good in Fresno, what's good in the Valley, what's good throughout the state, and we look around for people doing really cool things. Our next guest is Ed Crane from Canine Partners for Life.
Yes.
To give us a little background on that.
Well, I'm here today to talk about a great organization that I've been affiliated with probably for the past 15 years or more, because they raise and train amazing assistance dogs, also known as service dogs, that help people like myself who are disabled. Now, I may not look disabled. To most people, I have an invisible disability. Mine is epilepsy, and I'm here with my canine partner, my service dog. His name is Zern, and I think you can see him now, laying next to me.
There's old Zern.
And he's facing my feet, and he's always paying attention to me and my epilepsy, because he's got ability to assist me in just so many ways. And he's facing me all the time when he's around me, and he comes from Canine Partners for Life.
So he has an eye on you.
He has an eye on me close to 24 hours a day.
Now you say, epilepsy helps you. It's got the big collar, so one might think, well, he helps you steady or helps you get up or something like that.
Correct, he does.
But he does more.
He does more than that. He's wearing that harness because that helps me with stability. I'm able to walk. If I didn't have that, in addition to having a seizure, I lose balance. So I'm able to hold on to that, and that gives me stability constantly, and not be afraid of losing balance and falling. With me, with my epilepsy, I am more probable to have a fall and an injury, and have a problem with a resulting injury that's going to break a bone or cause a break or injury to a part of my body that's not expected.
Right. And now he gives you a pre-warning?
For the falls or the loss of balance, it's all of a sudden what will happen is my muscles will tighten up where I'm holding the harness. But for my seizures, he's got the ability to give me a warning about 15 to 20 minutes ahead of an oncoming seizure. What he'll do is he's able to sense my oncoming seizure by his nose. He can smell my seizure without me being able to smell it. Or he can sometimes sense it by a body motion, a shaking of one of my muscles.
He'll know before you know.
Before I can even feel it, he will. And what he'll do is he'll come over and he'll start to rub a part of my body. Normally he'll use the butt of his head, and he'll start to quickly rub my legs. And that's him telling me, Ed, you're going to have an oncoming seizure now. I want you to lay down immediately on the ground, right here where you are. I don't want you to move any further. And if I don't react immediately, he then blocks me.
He's a little more excited.
Correct.
A little more insistent.
And he expects me, and I do. I'll lay down where I am. I look around me very closely to a place that is close that I can just get down. And as soon as I lay down, he lays across my legs.
Kind of protection?
Correct.
Okay.
And he does that with his paws across my lower legs, and he rides the seizure out with me. And once the seizure is over, and I can't tell that, there are many times I'll feel as if it's over, and I'll want to get up, but he won't let me get up until it's over in his senses. And then he'll quickly come over and he'll start to lick my face, telling me, Ed, the seizure's over. It's okay to get up. And what I'll do then is I'll get up and I'll sit somewhere. Normally get up and find a place that I can sit and regain my balance. Because if I try and get up too quick, I have the ability then to fall and injure myself.
Right, all over again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, he wasn't born doing that. He had to be trained.
Well, yeah, what he's got is he's got an ability to sense, and not all dogs do, and not all labs do. The organization that raised and trains Ern is called Canine Partners for Life, and they're located in Cochranville, Pennsylvania. What they do is they breed their dogs, and they test all the dogs that they breed out there, and only a percentage of them have the ability to do this.
I did not know that. They don't all make the cut, huh?
They don't all make the cut.
Right.
Okay, so once they test and find out which ones do, then they go through a process of training the dogs. Mm-hmm. And the ones that do have the ability, they go on to a special scent training, mm-hmm. so that they're able then to use their senses in their nasal capacity to train them to be able to scent detect this process along the way.
So specialized scent training.
Correct.
One might be epilepsy, what might another be?
Well, the dogs that they breed, again, almost all of them become service dogs. Mm-hmm. But there's a percentage of them that fail out also because they're not paying attention to the all of the tasks they're trying to train the dogs to become a service dog. Mm-hmm. You know, they have to be diligent in the training to be able to open and close doors, fetch items on command. They have to go through the process of being able to go through the entire process of all the commands that they're being trained to be able to respond to become a fully trained service dog, okay? If they don't meet that task, then they will normally be going through the training, they will fail out, and they are then contacted families that are in the system that are still looking for wonderful dogs, mm-hmm. but they're just not able to be trained to be service dogs.
At that level.
Correct.
Now, we have a little video. Can we play that now?
Yeah.
Let's play that. We could talk over it. These are some people who have a service dog.
Yes, CPL was founded back in 1989, and in their 30-plus year history, they've placed over 750 service dogs to assist individuals who have a wide range of physical, developmental, and cognitive disabilities. There are currently 200 service dogs active nationwide in their program now, plus 50 to 70 service dogs in training. It costs approximately $32,000 to raise and train a service dog. In Canine Partners program, they don't charge any individual the full fee to be partnered with the service dog.
But someone's paying it.
What they do is Canine Partners, they do their own fundraising to support all of the dogs. And when somebody like Ed Crane comes into the picture, they explain to us what it costs to raise and train a dog, and they ask us along the way to get involved with fundraising along the way to help in a commitment with our partners. Mm-hmm. And they understand and make us understand that we are only brought into the equation to help in a way that's reasonable for individuals, because individuals who are disabled are not able to always get involved in the fundraising, right. But they would like to have each of us make a commitment to be a part of that part of the factor with respect to our partnership. I can tell you in the term, I've had 3 dogs from Canine Partners, and in that time, I've been involved in fundraising. I've had fundraising from writing letters to organizations and individuals over the years as part of the fundraising program. Recently, within the past 6 months, I've had success in writing to organizations and individuals, and I've had several individuals send checks to Canine Partners. And in some of the programs that Canine Partners have had, I've been involved that way too, and other members have too. So,
one of the best things you do, biggest contribution, is you come and talk about this stuff.
Absolutely.
Every time you come here, I learn something I didn't know.
Absolutely.
I always say, why didn't Ed tell me about that last time? But I'm probably just not listening that well. But just to see how a dog like this can improve your life, or stabilize your life, normalize your life, it's a big deal.
It is. I've been lucky. I can remember when I first went to Canine Partners with my first of 3 dogs. I happened to be there when I first went to the organization and was introduced to 3 dogs at that introductory process. And somebody with epilepsy, that's my disability. Epilepsy, I had had brain surgery, and they introduced me to 3 different dogs and were explaining the abilities they had to open doors and to grab a phone on command and to turn light switches on and off and do so many different requests on demand. And then they explained to me how a dog was trained to be able to warn me in advance of an oncoming seizure. I was flabbergasted. And then out of nowhere, one of these dogs came over and started to rub his head on my knees. I didn't know what was happening, and the gal came over and touched me on the shoulder. She had flagged one of the other gals in the room and said, bring a mat over. They brought a mat over, and they said, Ed, we need you to lay on the mat. I said, what's going on? She said, we believe that one of the dogs has just given you a warning of an oncoming seizure. Had never experienced that. Wow. And I laid down, and about 3 or 4 minutes later, I had a grand mal seizure.
What a miracle.
That was
not the seizure the miracle, but the idea that an animal could help you like that.
And I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. And all of a sudden, I experienced an event that I had heard about, but never in my life had I had an advance warning of seizure.
Never in your life had you had an advance warning?
Absolutely.
Did you even know it was possible?
I only, because I had seen on television what Canine Partners had was showing, and the reason I had come was that to begin with, and then I said to myself, I've got to have this. I've got to have this.
By the way, where did you go? What state? What city?
Well, I was living in Princeton, New Jersey at the time. Here I live in Clovis, California. And I went to Canine Partners, which is in Cochranville, Pennsylvania.
Not too far, huh?
And that moment changed my life.
Changed your life, yeah.
Changed my life.
I'm surprised to hear from you're from New Jersey. Not a trace of an accent.
Definitely. But that moment.
This is great, Ed. I love hearing about this.
That moment, and I said to the staff who was with me, I said, I've got to make sure my name's on the list. It was a waiting list because there are people who had been there months and a year before me. Said, I've got to put my name on the list. And I can tell you that it took me a year to get finally matched with my first partner. And that moment when a year later came and I was finally matched with my first partner, I look back and here I am alone. I came out here alone today. Before that, before I was matched with my first dog, I was always with somebody. I was always with a family member wherever I went, whatever I did. I was used to living a life where somebody was always with me. Since I've been matched with a canine partner, my partner Zern, I feel like I can travel anywhere. I've traveled on my own on
Give you
airplanes.
freedom you hadn't had in years and
Absolutely.
years. Wow.
Absolutely. Yes.
We see a website there, canineforlife.org.
Right.
What would somebody find there?
Well, what you would wind up doing is contacting them and filling out some initial paperwork and speaking to one of the staff members and asking questions and getting information back initially, and from there taking that one step to lead up to a meeting with them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you meet with them and you go to the location, you meet with staff that are involved with training, you talk to them about what it means to partner with one of these animals, what's involved. I mean, the only thing I can tell you that is an issue is that it once you learn about this, there is a wait time. And there's no getting around a wait time.
There's always going to be a wait time.
I mean, there's people today who have heard about this 12 months ago, and there's people who heard about it 6 months ago. And once they get in the process, they go through the process of signing up, getting in line to find out when the next class is, when partnering with the dog is going to happen. That is tough and frustrating, and I've gone through it. And what you've got to remember is that the wait time's not only for new individuals who are looking to partner with the dog, but as I told you, there are so many people in the process that all of a sudden retirement of a dog is coming up. They've had a dog for 10 years, and the dog was 4 or 5 years at the time they were partnered, or 2 or 3 years when the dog was partnered. So the dog is 13 years old and it's going to be retired. So you've got people who are getting the first dog and people who are retiring a dog. That there's always a class that's coming together, that wait times are tough for people getting a first dog and people retiring a dog. That's the frustrating aspect of partnering with the dog. But when you partner with the dog, it's, I guess the best way to say it, it's an hallelujah time. And when you partner with that dog, it changes your life forever. It really does. It's worth it.
Now, I asked about the website. What about people who want to get involved somehow, either financially or supportive? Can they find that information on that website?
Yeah, they can. They can. The best thing to do is go to the website. There, on the website is telephone numbers. There's information on there on how to contact Canine Partners. And, of course, we're coming into Christmas season now. There are, there is on the website there a wish list of things that Canine Partners needs. You can imagine that they've got an Amazon wish list of probably 30 or 40 things here, and if you go on the Canine Partners website, you could be helpful by spending just a few dollars and be very, very helpful. It could be anything from CDs that they need to something as what people hardly believe, something as silly as cat litter. Mm-hmm. And somebody said to me, how could they need cat litter? Well, when they're raising puppies, they have cats on the property because these dogs are trained to be neutral around all sorts of animals. Yeah. So that whenever I'm walking on the street or walk into somebody's house, if there's a cat there, he's neutral with all animals. So there are all sorts of different things that...
Cat's not a big deal when they see one.
No.
They went through that period, been trained out of them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
So
go to Amazon. There's a wish list for Canine
Canine
Partners.
Partners, and Christmas is not that far away, and everything. Plus, financial donations are helpful too. So,
Very good.
yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you, Ed. We could talk for hours. I know
We could.
I know we could. Any big things we're leaving out? I guess that's a big one. Go to the wish list.
Go to the wish list or financial donation. But the final thing I would say is that Canine Partners for Life is a wonderful organization. They've helped me, and they've helped many, many people out there. In everybody else's state out there, there are service dog organizations. There's, organizations that help the blind, the hearing impaired. They help the disabled. If there's one in your state or there's one in your backyard, reach out and help any of these organizations that may be close to you. They all help handicapped, disabled individuals like myself. So now at Christmas time, it's a good time to be very generous. And we thank you very, very much.
Ed Crane, great ambassador, living ambassador, living example of how something like this has touched his life, given him a lot of freedom. And I'm inspired every time Ed comes. I appreciate you taking the time.
We appreciate it very much.
Ed Crane. Go to the website, Canine for Life, the letter K, the letter 9, the number 4, the word life.org, canineforlife.org. If you didn't write that down or you want the info later, call me here. I'll put you in touch with Ed Crane if we need to do that. Thank you, Ed.
Thank you very, very much.
We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.